Good day and welcome to our Pitta food guide or Pitta season, which is summer food outline. My name is Carlisle Amlak and I am the Ayurvedic practitioner here at Maha Vidya Ayurveda. We work very closely with the seasons in our practices and outlines. And as mentioned in the ancient texts of Ayurveda, it's one of the best ways to cultivate health year round. So we watch what happens externally in nature, in the macrocosm, and reflect that internally within the microcosm of our own being. And that's the Rutucharya or seasonal regimen outline. So those of you that may have heard of the terms Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, the constitutions, what we're primarily looking at in the summer season or within Pitta Dosha or Pitta constitution is an increase in heat. So you'll notice an increase in heat, an increase in sharpness, an increase in lightness. And what happens in the summertime especially is that as that heat increases in the body, at first it can stimulate the digestive system, but over time it can create exhaustion and depletion. So what we're looking at is cooling and rejuvenating, easy to digest foods and practices that we can utilize over the summer. If you haven't signed up for our free guide, you can jump online. You'll see that in the right hand of the blog post here on mahavidyaayurveda.com. And what you can get is a full guide to the seasonal practices and a link to our summer Rutucharya program. But otherwise, what I'm going to cover in this video is pitta reducing foods. So what aggravates pitta or heat in the body is pungent foods, salty foods, and sour foods. So if you have high pitta, excess heat, inflammation, or burning in your system, you'll want to avoid those three tastes. The tastes that are balancing for Pitta Dosha or reducing pitta constitutionally or in the summer season are going to be sweet, bitter, and astringent. And as you may notice, as summer increases, the garden foods tend to take on those qualities as well. So you may have sweet, juicy fruits. You may also have bitter herbs and bitter spices that are being produced in the garden. You'll see we always recommend farm stand or local farmers market produce if you don't have a garden for yourself. So seek that out, make relationships with the farmers. Whatever the food is doing locally in terms of taste is going to be exactly what you need. And that will vary depending on your climate. So it's going to be much different in Maine compared to when we're in Puerto Rico in the summertime, but you'll see the fluctuations in what's coming out of the ground itself or from what nature's offering. Grains that are most supportive for reducing Pitta Dosha include amaranth, barley, wheat, oat bran, oats, pastas, quinoa, white rice in general, and spelt. For fruits, you're mostly looking for sweet fruits. So you're going to want to avoid sour fruits. So sweet berries, sweet apples, sweet melons, coconut, dates, pears, sweet pomegranate. If it's too sour, you may want to avoid that. Sweet raisins, watermelon, mango is great, papaya is great, soursop if you're in the tropics. And if you're getting grapes, you want to make sure that they're the sweet purple grapes, not the sour green grapes. And that goes for apples too. I would avoid sour apples. For vegetables, pretty much anything that's growing right now is going to be supportive. There's a lot of bitter greens that are produced. And you'll notice that as the weather increases in heat, the bitter quality or taste is what becomes predominant for a lot of the vegetables in the garden. In the springtime, we noticed a predominance of pungency, and that shifts over to bitterness as the heat increases. So most vegetables you're growing are going to be just fine. You may want to reduce or avoid excess use of tomatoes, peppers, hot peppers, and eggplant if you have high pitta. Otherwise, if it's coming out of your garden and you're eating it fresh, it could be okay. For beans and legumes, azuki beans, black-eyed peas, garbanzo, lentil, kidney beans, mung beans, navy, pinto, soybean, white beans. The digestive function of pitta is actually quite high. What we need to worry about, as I mentioned, is in the summertime, As the heat increases, we get a little bit squeezed. So you just want to be mindful that the quality of your digestive system is functioning higher than the heaviness or the complexity of the food that you're eating. So if Agni, digestive fire, is high, you're probably going to be able to process most foods. However, you want to make sure that they stay light enough to do so. Most dairy is supportive for Pitta because it's cooling and sweet. So unsalted butter, soft cheeses, cow's milk, goat milk, ghee, fresh yogurt. Takra is a fantastic recipe for the summer season as an afternoon snack. We have that recipe on our website, and you can play with the ratio a little bit for how much of the fresh yogurt you're using, and potentially use some cooling spices like cardamom, or even add a little bit of sugar during the summer season. Nuts and seeds that are appropriate for Pitta are almonds, coconut, flax, pumpkin, and sunflower. You'll notice the oils that are recommended for both internal and external use are coconut, almond, and sunflower. I've got ghee up in the dairy section. So ghee is one of the best for Pitta Dosha. And sweeteners, barley malt, date sugar, fructose, maple syrup, rice syrup, succinate, cane sugar, and turbinado are all appropriate during the summertime. We've got a few different recipes online for the summer season. You'll see our sun preserved rose petal jam, and that's pretty much just roses and sugar. It's quite delicious. If you come to Maine sometime and visit us, we can make it there, or you can try it at home. The recipe is online. The mint and coconut chutney is quite lovely. And we've got a few smoothie recipes, really specific for the summer season. You'll notice the smoothies we recommend are very easy to digest. They're very light. They're not very complicated like the heavy protein-packed smoothies that we see on the market now, but it's what's in the text and what is recommended. If you're interested in learning more about the summer season and summer season regimen, we do recommend that you jump over to our seasonal Ruchacharya program. We offer it 4 times a year for the change of season. It's a short online course filled with handouts and lots of information to keep you healthy year round. So we hope you enjoyed this short informational practice for Pitta, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you guys. Lots of love.